So tomorrow is my last day of work and then I get 2 weeks off. I am so incredibly excited. I am planning on doing nothing but reading books, crafting, and kind of spending time nurturing myself. And I thought I would take you along with me and kind of video journal. A recent development in my life was I decided to take a break off social media. I found myself getting lost for many hours in the doom scroll and I just needed a little bit of a break. For me, I definitely need to have these moments where I take a big step back and have a break and just connect back to the world around me. I have recently been gravitating kind of more towards escapism reads. I've been definitely wanting to read cozy books because it is the middle of winter here in Melbourne. I am currently reading The Green Witch. This is my reread. I've read this a few times before. I like to reread this book because I get something new from it every single time. So I'm currently just kind of plodding along, making my way through this. I'm also about to start Hounded by Kevin Hearn. This is part of the Iron Druid Chronicles. I posted a Instagram story a few weeks ago and it was talking about how I was craving cozy fantasy, and my dearest friend sent me this book along with Powerless by Lauren Roberts, and so I am gonna read it. So I'm gonna read this first and then I'll probably read Powerless. I'm just cycling through the fantasy romance at the moment, so I hope you don't mind. It's a bit different to what I normally read. I am in the fantasy romance mood, so I hope you don't mind because that's what I'm reading next. I just bought the DLC pack for Zelda Breath of the Wild, so I will be playing that pretty non-stop today, and I found the audiobook version of Hounded, so I think I'm going to listen to the audiobook, play some Zelda, and just turn my brain off. Do you ever look at yourself and you're just not pleased with what you're seeing? That's me today, but nevertheless, we are going on a hike and I am ignoring how I feel and I am determined to be back into nature. I am so incredibly excited. It is very early. No. Really love these tarot cards. How pretty. This one's not even opened. It's like a fresh deck. And then it comes a tarot mat. I swear that every single time I start to record, my cat gets the zoomies. I don't know why. He times it so well. It's like he knows. He's a Libra, so he loves the attention and the camera. So I feel like It makes sense. I wanted to talk to you and update you on what's been going on in my life. So yesterday we went on the most gorgeous sunrise walk slash hike. There's this one massive hill that I personally struggle with very badly. So that part, I would say it's a hike. Apart from that, it's quite a nice nature walk. It is so gorgeous in the morning. All the lyrebirds are singing their songs, waking up, and it is a pleasure to walk alongside them. After our hike yesterday, we just kind of came home and potatoed around a little bit. I didn't get any reading done, but I cleaned the house a little bit. I am itching to rearrange the house and to go out and buy a bunch of new stuff and redecorate the house. I am getting really fed up with the space at the moment, especially my craft room upstairs. It is so barren and it does not invoke much creativity. Since I've taken a break of social media, I've been much more creative than I've ever really been. I use and utilize that room upstairs more than nearly any other room in the house. So I am itching to completely redecorate and redesign it. I really want to get some bookshelves and put it in that room as well and kind of have it as like a cozy home library hobby room. That leads me to my next topic, and that is my social media addiction. I am still going strong. I have been more creative than I've ever been, and it has been so joyous of an experience. My relationship with social media has put a major creative dampen on just being able to experiment and try new things. The act of being bored is something that I haven't felt for a very, very long time. I thought I felt boredom when I was doom scrolling and I would just sit and decide to go on my phone. I thought that's what boredom felt like. Recently, without doom scrolling and having social media to kind of fall back on, the act of boredom has brought out so much creativity. Yesterday, just on a whim, with no prior experience of knowing how to do this, I decided to make a necklace. I had this belly chain and it broke, and I had my spiral earrings. I've had an extra set of spiral earrings, and so I decided to make it into a necklace. Just a girl with pliers and a dream. I am so happy with myself. I also made an anklet, the exact same style, but it goes on my ankle. I am so happy. Like, look at that. I made that. It's so cute. I put some extra chain. It's a different color, but who cares? And it's made me want to pursue jewelry making a little bit more. I would love to make some more fun little things, especially with crystals and whatnot. I've been wanting to buy a crystal necklace for a really long time. My last crystal necklace decided that it no longer needed to serve me and it broke. I think that now I'm a little bit more confident and I just want to give it a go. But that is kind of what I mean by the act of boredom. I was sitting there bored and I decided to create something and experiment with something with my hands, and it was an incredibly rewarding experience. I think also just realizing that you have to be bad at something before you get good. It has also really changed my mentality, even with all my pottery that I've been making. It's all very like wonky and holy, some of them have broken, but it is all part of the experience. Each time I craft with my clay, I make something a little bit stronger, a little bit smoother, and I am seeing my progress, and it is so nice. This morning we went to go get a coffee in the hills, and I also went to my favorite bookstore of all time. It is just a really nice slow start to the morning. Went and got coffee and had a lovely time. I didn't end up buying anything at the bookstore. I'm still trying to be very conscious about what I purchase. I was more interested in the non-fiction rather than the fiction. I really want to get more informational books about herbs, about art and pottery, I want to learn by reading rather than scrolling. I feel like it's more rewarding getting information and having to seek out the information. Part of me feels like we shouldn't have this much readily accessible information at our fingertips on our phone. You can Google anything and then there's your answer. Not only that, but there's been an AI overview on Google I noticed recently, and most of the time it's also wrong, at least when it comes to creative things. Creative things, I don't think we need to know everything straight away. You're meant to experiment and do things wrong. That's how you learn, trial by error. Anyways, but I digress. For the rest of the afternoon today, I plan on reading Hounded. I've got a lot of clay projects that have dried and I really want to paint. So I think I'm going to listen to the audiobook, paint my clay upstairs. I'm super excited just to have a really cozy, slow day today, just filled with crafts and reading. And I hope you don't mind if I bring you along with me.
Wrapped myself in mist and exited the field with my prize. You come across as little more than a scheming, cowardly footpad. How delightful. All right then. To know my state of mind leading up to the point where the sword dropped at my feet, for that is truly how it happened. And I was paranoid about being cut down in a similar accident. When the Pharaoh's army tried to follow, the Red Sea fell upon them, drowning them all. She was not joking. She really would have killed them without compunction. From her tone, it was clear. Chapter 7. With much apologizing, simultaneous thanks for the gift of her company, not to the future. You have to listen. She gave Oberon an affectionate pat on the head, when she tried to avoid a famous brief farewell, then winked out of sight and returned to her chariot berth to review my domestic defenses. Sending my awareness down through my tattoos, I looked for holes in my bindings, anything the least bit out of the ordinary.
I am 200 pages into Hounded by Kevin Hearn and I am calling it a day. I am DNFing. This story is about a man named Atticus who is the last of the Druids. He is over 2,000 years old and he wields this Celtic sword called Fragarach. He is friends with a slew of mythological creatures such as vampires, werewolves, and the goddess of death. He has this talking dog sidekick. He can talk to the dog telepathically, and overall I would just say this book felt very childish. I don't actually know if it is a YA novel. I'm assuming as much because it kind of felt that way. A lot of the writing and the jokes. There was a lot of jokes in this that were very kind of pot shots, very fart joke kind of energy. It just isn't really my cup of tea. When you're reading fantasy, you want to be completely involved in the world, you want to be invested in a character, and I just couldn't get invested in anyone. I would overall just say that this wasn't really my cup of tea. This just wasn't my kind of read, and I think I'm done with the fantasy books now. I think that was my last for a little while. I've read 3-4 different fantasy books in the past couple weeks, and I think I've definitely gotten my fill. I'm super excited to pick up another book. Overall, it was an okay read, nothing too exciting. I wasn't the hugest fan, but I can see how other people would be. I think that a lot of the mythological creatures were kind of fun to read about. The battle scenes, the fight scenes were very detailed. The Irish Wolfhound talking dog sidekick was my all-time favorite character, I would say, out of the entire book. I didn't really care about anyone but the dog, and he was so cute and his humor was quite funny. I think I'm going to end the video here. It has been so far a really lovely time off. I've been creating so much fun things, reading different kinds of books, and I hope you enjoyed this video. It is my birthday in a couple days. I have so much planned for the rest of the week and I will be taking you along with me. I'll see you in the next one.